Hi!
Welcome back to Fixated, a podcast with us, Ellen and Joelle.
I'm Joelle.
And I'm Ellen. This is the podcast where we talk about the media and culture, the stuff we just can't look away from.
Yeah, the things we just can't seem to get over.
And why it all matters so much to us. In this episode, we went on a couple of tangents. We talked about cosplay, media as a whole, and we talked a lot about Euphoria Season 3. So
yes, we do.
Tune on in. This is another fun one.
Enjoy.
Okay, enjoy. I love to be here.
Again. Here we go again.
It's awesome to be podcasting with you.
I know. We were saying when we uploaded the last episode 5, if you guys are tuning in, if you're counting, how each time we actually do the thing, we get to the point of uploading, it's like we did it.
So crazy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing?
Making a podcast.
Exactly.
It's
Who
awesome.
told us to do this? No one.
Nobody. But nobody stopped us yet. So.
Exactly. What's going on, Ellen? What's new?
Let's see. What am I fixated on this week? Let's just
jump right into
our
non-media
fixations. Our non-media fixations.
Of course.
As always.
Yes.
First things first. My biggest one this week is the concept of acai bowls. I haven't actually had one. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've had a busy week, but I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Those things are good. They're really good.
They're delicious.
I'm going to say something really vulnerable. I've only had 2 in my life, I think. Maybe 2 or 3. And I'm really dreaming about that 4th one. Yeah. I am excited to access that. Once the stars align.
Have this funny thing of one of my summer high school jobs was at a smoothie bowl, what's it called? Kind of like a health smoothie bar type of thing. So I've had so many in my life. In fact, that summer I was chowing down on those acai bowls.
Joelle, you've got to get to New York and make me my 4th smoothie bowl.
I would love to.
I want it straight from the source.
I thought it was so fun in a way to make them and try to get the thickness exactly right, because they were very particular about it being the right consistency, which I could respect. I respect the focus on craft. And they had this almond butter that was it was all very organic type of stuff. Yeah. Their almond butter was so good. It was so good. It was just, I don't know, fresh. It was just delicious. So yeah, we got to get you one of those.
Yeah, I need one. One. I was about to go on a tangent about almond butter. I learned 2 days ago, apparently Trader Joe's invented that, which don't fact check me.
Girl, what?
I could be super wrong about that, but I was told.
We sure?
This week. That apparently Trader Joe's invented almond butter. Once again, no one look this up. Just trust me.
You're prohibited.
Don't look into that.
And I won't. I will trust
crazy stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy
it
if
seems
true. And
like
it is
something
true, I would never tell a lie.
Mr. Joe would do.
Right?
You know?
It does. It seems accurate. So I believed it with my full heart.
Yeah. Now I really want a smoothie bowl. They used to have one that was they had many different types, of course, but they used to have one that was kind of it was called the Green Monster, and it had spirulina in it. And so it made this really dark green color. And you'd think it was kind of gross and mud looking, but it was really yummy. And they had chocolate covered kale or something like that.
Whoa.
That would also go on it. And it was
that sounds insane. That is feeling like I should work at a smoothie bowl place. I should find somewhere.
Yeah. I should go back. The lady who ran it was not nice. She just had she was not a warm presence, which maybe that's just girl boss and I should let it rock. But she was just a bit unpleasant to interact with to a certain extent.
And that's sometimes a woman needs to be a little unpleasant.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
right.
Maybe sometimes.
Feminism, whatever.
Sure.
Okay, my second one, my fixation, non-media fixation, is another concept, but it's kind of also it's not non-media, which I want to address that I've been receiving hate for my non-media perspectives all being media related. I just want that person to back off. Mind your own business. This is my podcast. But my second non-media fixation is another concept. And it's just that, I like don't know if we can actually put this in, but it's gonna make me laugh, or it's making me laugh. So whatever. On TikTok, when like you get the suggested search that other people are searching related to videos.
Yes.
I've been like, I don't know, my phone has decided that I want to get a lot of like Marvel, Captain America, Chris Evans, Sebastian Stan related content lately. Like, sure, okay. It's been a while since I've gotten any of that, but like couldn't hurt. On every single one of these videos, the suggested search has been Sebastian Stan saying he is bi. Like, that didn't happen. What are y'all talking about?
What are we saying?
Like, where are you getting this? And I haven't clicked it because I'm like, I know that that's not. They're not going to lead me anywhere. They're trying to get me.
Exactly.
Every time I see it makes me laugh because I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? He didn't say that. Leave this man alone.
They're waving like a piece of candy in front of your face.
Literally, they're trying
like,
to.
You want it.
I'm like, no.
Say, ha, nothing behind here. You fool.
I know that didn't happen. Like, you're not going to trick me, but it is so funny to me, just in theory. Sebastian Stan saying he is bi. He didn't say that. I can guarantee it.
I love that. I have no idea exactly how that search function works. Because sometimes they're so like, and I must say that like more than I would want to admit, I'm clicking on those and being like, what are you guys talking about? Like,
sometimes
what is
is really funny. And sometimes it's helpful. Yeah.
Sometimes it is helpful. I feel like they're just like mad-libbing something you might be interested in. They really are trying to like wave a piece of candy or like, whatever literally. It is in your face. They're trying like, this is interests you, right? This is something you'd like.
You would love this.
Engage.
I'm gonna be real. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care if that man is bi.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because also he didn't say that.
In fact, I'd say good for him and move on.
Like, literally. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Come on. That's funny.
Yeah. Tell me,
awesome.
Joelle, what are your non-media fixations of the week?
Okay. Well, one of them is media related. Haters
as it should
beware. Be. Yeah. It is a bit media related, but I'm using it to build. I'm building on a general idea of anniversaries and reminiscing and looking back type of thing. So I guess the concept of reminiscing. Yeah, I was thinking a lot about the Challengers anniversary this week. That was like a big thing because I was like, wait, oh my gosh, Challengers.
And your fixation should be Challengers always, yeah.
Yeah, right? And I guess it's just because I didn't even realize that it was going to be the anniversary. Like, that's not something I actually have in my calendar, though some may think that I do. It's not something that's actually... Yeah. I mean, like, now, if it wasn't already deeply ingrained in my head, like,
and now it's going in the calendar for next year, and we're going to have a party. Why not?
We're going to throw a party. But... just on separate occasions, I was like asked what my favorite movie is when I was on a trip. I was like visiting my sister, and I was like, oh, well, I was like, it is Challengers right now. Like, or since it came out, it's been Challengers.
Of course.
Which is something we were talking about where it's like, it's it's favorite because it's almost an irrational favorite. And that's not to say that it's not a good movie, because obviously we think it's a good movie. And obviously it was like critically acclaimed, and there's somewhat of a consensus about it being a good movie. But there is just that irrational element where I'm like, I can't really further explain. Like, it just clicks. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
I found myself in a few situations this week where I was also asked my favorite movie. And so I obviously also said Challengers.
Yeah.
And I was met with kind of nothing but confusion, which confused me. Because what are you talking about? That it's not your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Like, it should be everyone's.
Yeah.
But even if it's not, you should understand why it's mine.
Right? Like,
hello.
Yes. So yes, the Challengers of it all. But then in general, I was just thinking this week a lot about the past. Yesterday was May 1st, and I was seeing people who were still in Oxford do like the May morning thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's like this tradition where it's like the 1st of May.
Right.
You wake up super early and they like sing on
cute.
The Magdalen Bridge or something like that. And so the idea with like the belligerent side of that is that you stay up all night.
Right, of course.
And you go in the morning. I saw that on people's stories. I was like, oh man. And then me and my friends, like the friends from my time at Oxford, were just talking about how that was quite the day. It was just like, it was so, and I feel like it's very like quintessential. I don't know, it encapsulates a lot of what was fun about that experience. Just both the debauchery and the like also very like very nice tradition, but also somewhat arbitrary when you're just like kind of there. Like, I'm not British.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, yeah, they're just like a choir is singing on May morning, and there's like all this like fanfare and stuff around it. And I was up all night. We were just being so silly, and there's just so many pictures of us being just like silly. And I remember riding home on my bike and my like spirits like slowly plummeting just from fatigue. And I was listening to Lizzie McAlpin, and I was like kind of like crying because I was like, it's just beautiful. I was like, it's beautiful, and I'm like riding my bike through Oxford on like a May morning, and I'm so tired. I'm just not gonna like see all these things again. And I was like thinking that in the moment, and so it's just crazy to look back. But yeah, that's all. I was reminiscing. That's one of the fixations. The second one, I returned to like making just like little Notion dashboard things or little Notion pages things. And I do love Notion, and that is true. And I think I felt a little bit estranged for multiple reasons from my love of Notion. Like I don't really use its AI tools like at all. I'm just like OG basic, just like I want to like mess around and like figure it out for myself. Whatever. But I do love it. And I just was like making like I made just like something for like this research project I'm trying to do. Last night I was like, okay, which we'll see if I actually use it, because I am the type of person to like set these things up and then not use it whatsoever. But I was like, okay, I wanted to keep better track of lyrics that I like. And I was like, let me make like a little Notion lyric library where things will like kind of like fill in and fit appropriately when I put in like the song and the artist and the album, and then it can kind of be like visualized and you see different views. And I was like,
I love a good spreadsheet.
Yeah. I was like, really I love this. I was like, this is fun to me. Hallelujah. So I was having a good time with Notion. I'm still like, I would be I'll do your promo. Yeah. If you insist, if you want someone to bring it back to the basics, and if I don't have to mention AI so much, I'll do it. Fine. If you push my hand and want to give me money to advertise your product, I think it's fun. Whatever.
Listen, we love doing free promo. In theory, would love paid promo even more. But we're always promoting something. It's the best.
Exactly. I'm like, if you push my hand, I'll talk about how much I love your product.
Yeah.
Yeesh. God.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Those are my two. Nice. Long-winded as always because of who we are as people. But okay, I think we can get into the meat of it. This is kind of just a sorry. I didn't know.
The meat of it. I literally said that last week, and I think
I was like, what should I say instead? Well, maybe I'll cut it out again.
This is the meat of it. You know what I hate? Which
the thick of it. This is the thick of it.
The thick of it. I don't know, whatever. You know what I hate more than anything? When people refer to the main part of an avocado as the meat of it. That's not meat. Don't say the meat of an avocado. That's disgusting. Maybe that's another fixation for me. Don't say that. The meat of an avocado? Absolutely not. The meat of the podcast? Like, maybe, sure. Why not?
Maybe, what the hell, sure.
Actually, you know what? What the hell? Whatever.
I like the thick of it, though. I think that's probably better. Works. We can get to the thick of it, the main part,
our main content,
what we're all here for.
Media. Meat?
Our meat.
Hate that.
No.
Actually, I'm going to cut myself off before I continue.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, what are we fixated on this week? What have you been reading, watching, listening to, et cetera, that you, I guess in general, I can't remember what we do. We kind of switched it up the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And so I'm kind of like, what have we been doing?
Yeah.
But like,
I kind of,
go ahead.
I've got a couple of things, I guess. Nothing super huge that I really felt the need to talk about this week, but I have been listening to a new book, which is fun. I'm really loving it, and it feels super relevant to this. It's called You Are What You Watch, How Movies and TV Affect Everything by Walt Hickey. I am loving it.
Period.
It's so interesting. I was saying to you before, like I wanted to talk about this book a little bit, but then I was like, I'm not going to be able to remember any of the details, so it's going to be bad. And that is already happening. All the details I wanted to mention have left my brain, of course.
You got to write them down.
I know. But like, I'm not done with it. One of the chapters was all about like how when you're watching like different types of movies, like a horror movie was one of the examples, the air in the room will change. Like, because your body like actually will physically like react as if it's really happening. And like when you're seeing horror on screen, the example they talked about, oh my God, I don't know. I don't remember the movie. The example he talked about was like a movie in which there isn't actually like blood, like there's no gore. And so that's not what it is, but there's scary things happening on screen. Your body will like, your blood will start to clot, like as if in preparation for something like yourself actually being injured. It was so interesting. Like there's like your body can't, so like the like your body doesn't differentiate between the things happening on screen versus like something actually potentially happening to you. Like your body's preparing for danger when you're watching a scary movie. It was so interesting. And then it was talking about like how just society in general is affected, and like baby names obviously really go up with different like movies and TV that are happening. Like, you know, people are naming their babies after media all the time. They've always been doing that. That's not a new thing. And they talked a little bit about like, I don't remember, like, so all this crap.
Literally just about all this crap.
All this crap. I'm on a chapter right now about like merch and the invention of like toys for like kids movies versus like adult merchandise, and how that kind of only really started in the 80s with Warner Brothers. Yeah, Warner Brothers kind of started it with like Looney Tunes merchandising, and just it's so interesting. And the way that has blown up like kind of recently within the past, I don't know, 40 years since the 80s. 40 years. So interesting. So super cool. Obviously, we know more than anybody. Movies and TV affect everything. But it's great to kind of get that validation.
I would abide by that. I would abide by that rule entirely.
Super interesting. Really recommend.
What does that make me think of? I was, or it just brought up a lot of different questions. First of all, love merch. Love for merch.
Love.
Yeah. At some point in time, I guess at some point in time when I had, what's it called? Like, how do you describe it? Something income.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called?
I know what
whatever.
The word
it
is.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Money to spend on shit that I don't need. That I want but don't need.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I'll get merch at a concert. It's just kind of this folded into the cost that I will take on for the night of whatever concert or type of thing. So I love my merch. I really do. And I want to collect more of it.
It's really fun.
It's really fun. Like I hate to say it in a way. I can't be a perfect consumer.
No,
in a
but
certain
that's the
way.
thing. That's what this book is saying. Like everybody does it, and it's not a new thing. Like this is just a thing that's been going on for so long, and it's so interesting. Like people love to represent the media that they love because they see themselves in it and they see it in themselves, and it's so like something I love to do. I love to like make things merch, kind of like where I kind of anything that will remind me of something. Like if I see like something that reminds me of a character or like the way that a character is dressed, I really love looking at like different costuming things. Or even like if I see an outfit that I like, I will oftentimes like kind of replicate that, just not in a crazy way, but like if it's within my own style or whatever.
I think it's really
I
neat.
love to do that. And then it's like merch, but just for me. It's like a little cosplay moment but in a really normal way. I love it. It's so much fun.
You're making me think about like the Comic-Con of it all. But I'm curious if you think you'd be the type of person to ever like actually cosplay. I wouldn't.
I will say when I was in like middle school, high school, I wanted to go to Comic-Con like so bad. Like I think that I would love to do that. And I've even like back in the olden days when Hot Topic was selling like a TARDIS dress. I had a TARDIS dress, and I don't know that I really was wearing it. No, that's a lie. I remember wearing it to Target one time when I was probably 14, which is so cute of me. I think that's adorable. I love looking back on my younger self being like, girl, What are you doing? Like, she's so cute. I love her. Little
Yeah.
Ellen. She was such a little nerd.
And I'm actually calling BS on myself because I immediately said like, oh, I probably wouldn't. And like, you know, there's just like degrees to it. But I will say that like the like only in I have truly for costumes, like Halloween costumes for the last couple of years, which I can eat, which like to even bother is I've had to connect it to like media that I like watching / any character that I can kind of dress as. Like that is my lane, and I'm sticking to it because it's really fun, and it's a way to express love.
It is. But like to answer your question, like current day, I was gonna say I don't actually see myself doing that, which like maybe I don't. But if the opportunity presented itself, like I would 100%. Like, I don't know that any of the media I'm like really into in this moment has something that you could super cosplay as, because my main media things are all kind of like, you can't super, I don't know, like Challengers is kind of hard to, I guess not hard to cosplay because you can, but like that feels like a different thing. Like wearing a t-shirt that says I told you, which we both own. I will address that.
Of course.
Love that. And I wear that out in the wild. Surprised? I love it. But versus like dressing as like
a character,
a full character from like I'm picturing like a Marvel situation or like a Doctor Who situation. Like, that feels more cosplay to me. And maybe that's me, I don't know, like kind of defining it in my own way. But that feels more intense because it's more visibly like a costume versus like just a t-shirt. Even if I'm wearing like the t-shirt with like the jeans and the watch and whatever, like exactly the outfit that Patrick had on, like that still feels like an outfit that anyone would wear. I don't know. But if I happen to stumble across tickets to Comic-Con in the next couple of years, hell yeah, I'm going. And you know what? Why not? I'll find that TARDIS dress. I'll put it on.
I'll throw that shit on.
And that'll be nostalgic. That'll be a blast from the past. Because I don't think they certainly don't make those anymore. They certainly don't sell those. But I loved the little TARDIS dress. It was so cute. That's adorable.
I struggle with the idea of like really, which is what I'm saying. Like I rely upon these Halloween costumes, and notably also none of them have been like outlandishly, or not outlandish, like none of them have been like elaborate. Like I did like Sydney from The Bear. It's like, okay, so that's very recognizable, but also he's wearing a normal human costume. I just don't do well with like I don't do well. I'm just probably not imaginative enough. It's just like not really my thing to go with a lot of like having to do like face paint or doing things like that. Like,
unfortunately, I think I would have to be buying something. I'm not a creative. Not that I'm not creative. I'm not like a physically creative person. I am not a good crafter. I don't think that if I were to make my own costume for something like that, I don't see it going well at all. Because cosplay is also like an art. Like it is an art form, and people are so good at it, and it's crazy. And there's this one girl on Instagram that I've been following probably since I was like 15. And it's like, it's not really something, I don't know, that I would ever do. And it's not even something I'm super interested in anymore. But like, I love watching what she does because it's so cool. And she's so good at it. I was going to say her name to shout her out. Maybe I should. Let me find what the hell her name is.
Yeah, go for it.
Because why not? Yeah, her username now is king.fool. I'm obsessed with her stuff. It's so cool. I started following her when I was, I don't know how old, because she had like a cosplay of like Annabeth. And her boyfriend, she made him dress up as Percy Jackson. And it was so like popular on Pinterest. And I love it. And I've been following her forever. Like that's my friend. I feel like I'm super parasocial with her because I've been following her life for so long now.
Wait, that's awesome.
Like this is like a talent that people have. Like this is a real thing.
Entirely.
Anyway, not a talent that I have, but I kind of wish.
It also makes me think about when, do you remember? I feel like you were doing it longer, both like before and after I was doing it. But do you remember when we did Redbubble?
Oh my God, Redbubble. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, I have to get into that. I got like I made like a bunch of random crap on there.
Yes. I was using Canva like a fiend to put together.
Canva to do that.
Right?
It's such a fun thing to do. And you make, I don't know, 30 cents a month.
I don't
stream of income couldn't hurt, whatever.
I remember some of my stuff selling, but I was doing like my own designs of like, mainly to speak of lyrics again. I think at the time it was like boy genius and Hosier, surprise, surprise, but also fun. And
Yeah, it's
also
really
an
fun.
art that people actually like. People do a good job. Good
Yeah,
job of
people get
making.
like real
It's fan
intense
art,
about that,
right?
like about fan
To a
art. It
certain
is
extent.
fan art,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
love fan art.
Yeah. I'm jealous that people can be good
I wish that's
artists
something
in
I
that
could
way.
do.
Yeah.
I
Visual
am not a
artists.
visual, yeah, can't do visual art at all.
Yeah. Not really. Yeah.
We all
No.
got our strengths. That's not one of
Exactly.
mine. Whatever.
Hey, whatever. But okay, so that seems like a
Yeah.
great book. I'm assuming it'll
Yeah,
come
super
up
cool, right?
again. I'm kind of curious, like what, I don't know, in a way, like what is the like perspective he's writing it from, if that makes sense? Like,
Mm.
I don't know, I guess maybe like who is he? But is it just kind of like, I guess it's a bit of like culture writing. Like,
It
is he?
is. I think it's mostly like from a cultural perspective, but he also
Mm-hmm.
had to include like there's like a lot of different there's cultural stuff he's talking about. There's obviously like the science side of things, and there's like a
Mm-hmm.
monetary
Mm-hmm.
side of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So he's kind of talking about like in all aspects of life, like media stretches across everything, which is really
Yeah.
interesting. I
Super
guess I don't
cool.
know exactly the like perspective he's writing from, other than that media is important and like you can't just like throw it to the side. But like the average adult ends up spending like I want to say 20% of their time, like their free time watching or like taking in media in some form, which I don't know, remember if that's the number. That does feel maybe high, but like that was the point.
Feels
Like
kind
it's
of
like a
low.
lot of it, like a lot of our lives. And so obviously it's
Yeah.
important. And he was addressing the fact that like some people will say that that's wasted time. And he's making the argument, no, it's
Uh-huh.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it is important.
It's
And
how you relate to the world in
like
so many
exactly.
ways. And like
It
sorry,
really
I'll
is.
this is
No,
such my
but
like
like
soapbox.
it is. It's
Yeah.
important. It is. Even if it's just because like it's what we love, like we as a
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah.
Like the things we love, the things we create, the things we choose to take in, like it's all on purpose. It's all
Exactly.
important. And it was interesting at the very beginning of the book, he was talking about how sometimes if you like choose to either read or write like a book like this about something you really love, it'll like
Mm-hmm.
you'll get too in the weeds, too behind the scenes about it, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
start to
Mm-hmm.
not like that thing as much. And he
Yeah.
was like, don't worry, this book is not going to do that for you. It made me love
Yeah.
media all the more. It made me respect it more. It will do the same for you. And I was like, yes,
Yeah.
awesome. Because I don't want to read a book that's going to tell me that I'm wasting my life. Like,
Yeah, of
that's
course.
not
Of
because I
course.
love and respect like these things. Obviously, we both do. That's what we're doing here. That's why we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Yeah.
It's just it was so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me, I started a new book a little bit ago, like, or I guess in this interim since last
Mhm.
episode. This one, prop, is called All Things Are Too Small by Becca Rothfeld.
Mhm.
And blah, blah, blah. I have a whole story about how I've been waiting to read it. But that reminds me of like really the main argument. It's like the
Mhm.
subtitle is Essays in Praise of Excess. She says, the demand that we apply the virtues of equality and democracy to culture and aesthetics results in a culture that is flattened, sanitized, purged of ugliness, excess, and provocation. In the first part, when she's like going deeper into like what she's saying, she's kind of
Mhm.
making the like, I think, well observed argument, to as much as I can speak to it, that like in the absence of like in our political and economic spheres of like having true equality and
Mhm.
experiencing like very secure democracy, we often apply these ideas to art and culture, assuming that, yeah, culture can be kind of like standardized and sanitized and be experienced the same for everyone, and that be like a good thing to a certain, like, she really
Mhm.
points out in a way that I wasn't expecting her to point out, but like even the idea that people are like, the thing that people get annoyed about on the internet all the time, where people are like, oh, it's not that deep, we can enjoy things for fun. She kind of like points to that as an example of it, which I think she does better than I might be able to explain, but kind of being like, no, like you're allowed to have bias, you're allowed to have
Mhm.
critique, and you're allowed to have your own standards and try to apply standards and think about these things deeply. And it's actually much less interesting to be like, we can all just have fun here and not take this too deep. She's like, no,
Yeah.
no, you
That's
should like get
interesting.
into it,
Mhm.
actually. Like, get into it if you want to get into it. And she said something that made me laugh about movies, but it was just kind of like a throwaway line where in this idea to like let people enjoy things. That's what she was saying.
Mhm.
She was saying the like let people enjoy things annoying, and the like kind of inverse of that is the idea
Mhm.
that like you have to like something or there's something wrong with you. She was saying that, like, in relation to bad movies, I'm bringing it back around. This is making me think about, like, how, like, all media is, like, somewhat important and interesting and important because of how we, like, it's something we create and we all engage in.
Exactly.
In a very big universal way. But she was like, there's certainly much to enjoy in films so aggressively bad that they are, if not beautiful, then at least perversively impressive. And I was like,
love that.
yeah. I was like, exactly. It's that type of thing that you feel where you're like, at the end of the day, though, like, people put that together. And it couldn't, and like, maybe it's terrible and it's shit, but like, they did it. They tried at something. They tried to express something about, like, the world and culture as we're living it through their lens in their way.
Everything is about something. Everything that was created on purpose with intention. We had this conversation last week, and I don't want to get too intense about it again. Like, I'm so much of the belief that, like, all art is art. Even if you don't get it, even if you don't like it, if whoever created it says it's art, then it's art. That's kind of that. That's
and I think and I think that's, like, the way more, it's, like, by definition inclusive, but it's just the more, truly the more, like, open way to think about things, you know? Like, what I think resonated well with me. And that.
Call back.
Call back. What I think resonated well with that, with, like, what she was saying about both sides of being like, let people enjoy things versus, like, you have to like this or die, she was saying, is kind of, like, coincides with all these, like, thoughts I've been having about, like, criticism, like, as a discipline and as, like, an art in itself. And I read this, like, essay by, her name's, like, Merv or something. Merv Emra?
Okay.
Merv Emra? Sure. I never looked up how to say her name, so I apologize if that's not how you say it. But I read this essay called, like, The Critic as Friend. Of course, can't exactly remember all of it, but if I remember correctly, she was just saying that, like, the critic as friend, when you conceptualize as that, it's like, you're not trying to make, like, moralistic judgments or this or that necessarily on whether something's good or bad, but you're like taking people along the journey of, like, understanding how you understood a piece of art.
Yeah.
Almost as if you were trying to explain to someone, like, what you like so much in a friend, or, like, what you like so much in a you know, like, you can highlight like faults in this, but, like, overall it's this very, like, generous act of being like, see it how I see it, see how I am understanding it. If you kind of, like, approach any piece of media or art in that way, easier said than done maybe, but you kind of, like, take it for what it is and try to, like, truly understand it for what it is and what people, like, intended with it, you at least definitely get away from, like, bad faith interpretations.
That's kind of reminding me of maybe, like, a tweet or something that I saw about the drama, actually, or about like people's reactions to the drama.
Yeah.
About how the majority of criticisms of the drama, of people saying that they didn't like the drama, their main criticism was not, like, an actual issue they had with the movie, but it was pretty much like, I thought this movie was going to be this, and instead it was that, and I didn't like that. Like, that's not an actual criticism of the movie. That's, I don't know, that just made me think of it.
No, but I agree. I think we were talking about this when we were talking about Wuthering Heights as well. Where it's, like, of course, super easy to, like, slip into, like, fine, whatever. But, like, being like, again, like, what was she, like, trying to do? And then you can talk about whether you thought it was successful or efficient. You know, you can poke holes in it, of course. But, like, you can't get mad at something for being not what it is.
Yeah,
like,
you can't get annoyed because you just, like, didn't predict correctly what the thing was going to be. That's not a criticism of that thing. That's just, and, like, it's fine to be annoyed by that. It's fine to dislike something. It's fine to not like that, like, you thought it was going to be this and instead it was that. That's totally fine, but that's not a valid criticism, especially if you are a critic. That's not something publishable. Who cares? That has no value to me. Like, as someone reading your criticism, that doesn't mean anything. Oh, no, I thought the movie was going to be a rom-com and instead it was whatever. Okay.
It's like, okay. So once you realize that it wasn't a rom-com in this, like, conventional nature, then what? Then what?
That was also
you can
done
use
with
it as
intention.
a starting point, but but then you have to say, then what? That can't be the whole critique. Come on.
No. Like, that was, the creators also did that on purpose. Like, they led you to believe it was going to be this thing for a reason, and instead it was somewhere else. They made that decision to lead you somewhere. That's reminding me, there was a movie, God, was it The Materialists? Where it was like really represented as if it was gonna be a rom-com and instead it was not. Oh my God. Was that The Materialists?
I could see it being The Materialists.
Maybe.
It's not a rom-com truly, it's just a rom-drom.
Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
The trailers and stuff really made it seem like it was gonna be a rom-com, and then it really was quite dramatic. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, like I thought it was gonna be a rom-com. They lied. I'm so mad." Girl, they did that for a reason. They did that on purpose. I don't know. Like, you don't have to like it. I remember being kind of irritated as well because I went in wanting a rom-com, but like,
yeah,
that's a you problem a little bit.
A little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit. And this all relates to my media fixation for the week, actually.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go.
Complain and critique.
Beautiful.
And hopefully, yeah.
And so complain.
Feel free to push back if it seems like I'm
I mean, no.
Just being a hypocrite based on everything I just said.
Hey, but we reserve that right. I love to be a hypocrite.
Yes. Of course I have my new book. And then I was texting you last night about starting this rival show, which I'm kind of living. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but like I'm living. And you'd love it because David Tennant's there.
I love David Tennant, yes.
And it's just really entertaining. I want to hear more
about this.
Yeah. It's like...
I didn't even know he was doing something new. I feel like usually I'm in the news or usually I know what he's up to.
Yeah, I think the first season that I'm watching right now, I'm like 3 episodes in, came out in 2024.
Okay.
And yeah, it's good. It's like, it's funny. It's very British. As I said to you, I was like, they're like really horny, but in a British way. And that's the best way I can say it. But like funny, dynamic. I like all the characters that's going on. There's some good like central romances that you're like, ooh, like, I'm really enjoying it. You can see the smile. I'm like, I really want to watch more episodes. And yeah, TikTok edits got me basically. It's kind of a period drama as well. It's like set in the 80s. And there's like television stuff, like they all work in like TV and media basically. And so that's kind of fun. Yeah. And then there's just like also like English countryside, somewhat like rich-ish people, and like David Tennant's like kind of evil, super kind of like manipulative.
He's so good at being evil. He is.
Yeah, right? And that's all. It's like kind of that thing. It's kind of like what is like a mix of people with a lot of different like ambitions and goals and egos and interests. And they're all interacting with each other all the time. And so they both like can't stand each other / are used to each other. And there's a lot of like playfulness about it though. And like a good balance, like playfulness, some drama, a lot of like well done characters so far, at least. But yeah, I was just like kind of living. I was like, I just like how you guys are doing this. It's so fun. It's really fun. And yeah, I guess I recommend. But I will say the other thing that I have been watching and have stronger feelings about is Euphoria season 3.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, please, no, tell me all about that, because I don't remember if I've mentioned this on the pod before, but I'm a person who has never seen Euphoria. That's a lie. I watched one episode one time because you and all of our friends were watching, I think, the season finale of season 2.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, tell me all about it. What's going on?
Much like the rest of the world, I was here for the first season, right?
Right.
Everyone's here for the first season. Interesting. Yeah. Labyrinth, Drake, when people still like Drake, was a producer. Zendaya's there. It seemed to have a very interesting visual style. It was fresh. It was new. We know there's already controversy with its emergence because of some of the crediting for like the initial visual language, which was so much a part of the appeal, was perhaps ripped off. Or as I said, like not accredited appropriately to this, as I understand, just like other, maybe like showrunner and creator, like have ambiently in my mind, her name's like Petra Collins or something like that. But yeah, so then like we also know that Sam Levinson is at the scene of the crime, and as he will continue to be. First season, we were there. I thought it had such a followable structure to it, very much though, like watching high schoolers do a bunch of stuff that you're like, sure, but whatever. That's not something new to TV. That's a genre in and of itself. Cool. Liked the first season. Second season ended up being a whole big, what the heck was that? what in the world? I remember exactly the first episode being like, oh, okay, this is like fun. They're like switching up a little bit, cool, but like not too far. And then just things deteriorated, I
Yeah.
feel like, with like the one fun episodes being when Rue's on the run. But then they had Dominic Fike in there for Why, singing a
Yeah, I remember
3-minute
hearing about
song in the
this.
finale for Why. I still can't get over how I was staring at that screen going like,
Sure.
what?
Yeah.
Like, what? I just thought just so messy, just like incoherent. Incoherent is the name of the game, incoherent
Yeah.
storytelling. I will shout out the 2 special episodes, Rue's episode and Jules' episode, between the first and second season that came out sometime in COVID or whatever. You know, like that production obviously got affected by COVID and stuff, which like isn't enough of an excuse in my opinion. But those 2 episodes are so
Yeah.
good. So yeah, second season was a mess. And, you know, that means I can admit before I like go into my spiel, I can admit entirely that I was not approaching season 3 with much like generosity in the first
Right.
place. I was a
Yeah.
skeptic about where it was going to go. And there was just already some like behind the scenes stuff. Like Labyrinth pulled all of his music from it. So now I think this season we have like Hans Zimmer soundtracking it. And Labyrinth music was such a big
What?
part of it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's a
Such a big part
crazy
of the
pull,
appeal.
okay.
Yeah, and kind of like added to some
Sorry,
of
that's
these
funny.
like
Uh-huh.
more surreal sequences.
Yeah.
And Zendaya was able to do a little bit of her like music bag in it as well. And I thought it just
Right.
added again, kind of like the highlights of the show have slowly been like stripped away. This season,
Uh-huh.
season 3, we're so far, I think only 3 episodes into it. We come back with these characters like to like a couple of years post graduation,
Okay.
but still kind of very concerned with each other. I guess fair enough. Basically, Rue has become like a drug mule for the lady who, again, in terms of like incoherent storytelling, they're like in the second season, she like had this entire suitcase of drugs that she's supposed to be selling,
Uh-huh.
and
Right.
then they did nothing with that suitcase of drugs and had no repercussions for her and had her literally like walking off into the sunset, and everyone was like,
Right.
what?
Sure.
So I guess they heard some criticism of that or understood. I'm not giving them credit for like having a plan all along. And so they revisit it now and like the woman has come knocking and has roped Rue into being a drug mule. Really like scenes of her transporting drugs like over the border, and like way too much of her like swallowing sacks of cocaine and like all this.
That just seems
There's
like sorry. Mhm.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it like not that that doesn't sound like I don't know like an interesting thing like a show that some people I don't know maybe would find interesting. It just seems like that's a pretty different show from where it started. Like again, I have not seen it, so I don't know what the like progression has been. Maybe it has been at least semi-natural, but that
Yes.
seems like a crazy switch up from like the high school ness where we started.
You holding my tongue like, and I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad you said
Mhm.
that because this is one of my questions, critiques and questions,
Yeah.
where I'm like, look, I can completely understand a shift tonally
Yeah.
and content wise across a show, right? It made me think, especially of Barry, Bill Hader's
Right.
show that aired on
Mhm.
HBO, and very good show. And I think that show did a really good job of like, it's Bill Hader, so like he came in there with the
Yeah.
reputation that things would be funny, and the show is
Mhm.
very invested in it being like funny, but you can sense I think there was only like 3 seasons that like since the beginning, yes, there's a lot of things about like, let's say just like darker themes in general. Like it's a
Mhm.
dark comedy. Like he was a former assassin, all these things.
Right,
Like so like
right, right.
those things are on the table. These elements are on the table where there's death and there's guns and there's people dying and people shooting and a lot of like moral consternation about like doing the right thing and all these types of stuff. So there's all those elements while also being funny. And I think that like through the progress of that show, by the time you get to the third season, like shit is like considerably more dark and even more like kind of just like existentially dark.
Mhm.
Like the tone just like does this like gradual shift where you're like, oh, like this is like kind of like I don't know what to say, but like truly just like existentially heavy. More than like there's like laughs and giggles. You're like, oh no, like people, these are people doing bad things in bad patterns and there are consequences, and it ends with such a like not very optimistic note whatsoever. Like it kind of like sticks the landing
Uh-huh.
of just being like the finale aired on the same night of like Succession's
Oh, God,
finale.
I
And
remember.
yes, and
Yeah.
that like 1-2 punch, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe people can't change. Or maybe there's just like
Huh.
these unforgiving cycles and unforgiving just like
Maybe the poison drips through,
violent.
like
Maybe the poison drips through. Literally, maybe the poison drips through.
Mm.
And I think one of my problems, one of the things I'm struggling with Euphoria, is
Mhm.
that like again, there were kind of these elements on the table. Short again, addiction, manipulation. There was kind of like sexual exploitation and like
Right.
sexual violence, and all these things were like on the table. But I just think that like it's just been the tone and like the progression of things getting even more ramped up just has not been treated well. Like it's just again, like
Yeah.
incoherence is the name of the game. Like it doesn't like nothing lands with actual gravity at all. And so we're in this season like the main story like one of the main storylines I guess right now that has the most to it is like Nate and Cassie getting married. So like this last week was their marriage episode.
Right, right,
And I'm
right.
just like sitting there and I'm like, first of all, hate that couple. Don't like them. It's just
Mhm.
not compelling. Like I just don't think it's actually compelling.
Yeah.
And they try to do like some humor here. Again, I find like just I don't understand what they're trying to communicate and why at like any given moment. The humor doesn't feel settled or like earned to me. Any of the drama, like things switch too quickly and just like indiscernibly. And it's like I was like, I can tell they think they're maybe trying to do something, like the writer's trying to do something, but it falls incredibly flat. And it's such a weird viewing experience. The characters, even Rue, who like is the like, what's it called, is the centerpiece or whatever
Mhm.
of the show, trying to like hold the core. Even Rue, all the characters feel completely incidental to like
Mhm.
the story, should there be one.
Yeah.
And the story should there be one, feels completely incidental to like general trying to like have this like vibe and something kind of like referential cinematics to I don't know. People were like, "Oh, it's kind of like a Tarantino. Looks like he's trying to do like a Tarantino tribute." And I was like, "Okay." Like, yeah, it does seem like
Mhm.
that. It does certainly seem like that. But like I don't know. I have almost all the critique in the world because of course I want to watch something that I would enjoy. Um
Mhm.
crazy me. But
Yeah.
it's just like not actually there's like very little depth. Like I don't understand
Mhm.
and I think it's symptomatic. Yeah, I think symptomatic of how there's obviously just something that has like completely fallen apart with like the making of it. You can feel it entirely in this episode. The episode before, you have the reunion of Rue and Jules.
Uh-huh.
You're kind of like, thank God, because you're missing Jules. The like text and subtext is that like, oh, basically like reunion vibes. Like, everyone's gonna
Right,
be at this
yeah.
wedding, and you're kind of like, okay, neat. Tell me why. Halfway through the episode,
Uh-huh.
Rue gets a call that's like her like drug overlords because now she starts working at a strip club instead. Like
Uh-huh.
she's working at a
Right.
strip club again. Too much obtuse random stuff going on there.
Mhm.
Rosalia's there.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Rosalia's there.
Well, yeah.
Barely gave her. She has like a neck brace on. They gave her one scene of doing a dance and maybe like two other scenes, maybe where she says 3 lines. Maybe it'll
Right.
come up again. Maybe I'll add the caveat here where, of course, this is the third episode in the season, so things could
Mhm.
happen. Maybe more things can make sense, but so far,
Right.
I'm bewildered. She gets the call from her like strip club drug overlord where they're like, "We need you to do a run." So halfway through the episode, Zendaya character Rue leaves
Mhm.
and is like on her own journey. Sure, it's not like she like isn't seen, but it's just like you're like, okay, so obviously Zendaya didn't want to be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like in another sense, I would be the type of person to hesitate to project acting like to project anything to act like I
Mhm.
know
Yeah.
what is going on. But it's just so like it what? Like what is happening? What is happening? And
Yeah.
there's just all these other like choices and non-choices that I just sit there and I'm like, it's not doing it for me. It's not
Mhm.
working. And it just yeah. Of course I'm gonna see it through. Of course. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch every single episode.
Well,
It's not
yeah.
like so maybe another maybe an update on that next time. I guess another 2 episodes will pass. I will try
Mhm.
I will probably not have as much of
Yeah.
a rant unless something really like pisses me off.
Mhm.
But um that's where I stand with Euphoria right now. That's all. That's all from me. Gosh darn Euphoria. I'm happy that they're all done with it. I mean, it's last season.
Yeah. Okay. Like officially?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
They're done, which I think is also part of it. That's what I mean. You're like,
they're just ready to be done. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. So I don't know. Apparently, there are. Legend has it there are people who are enjoying it. Like I can't really get behind it, or I'm not feeling moved by it in any way. But I'm sure there's always people who like something.
There are. Yeah.
That's also. And as we were saying, at the end of the day, that is a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. There's something for everybody, or everything. Everybody has their thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I had one other thing I kind of wanted to talk about.
Sorry, I steamrolled that.
No, you're fine. Just because it's time relevant, I don't super have a ton to say about it. Because I'm way behind on watching. Actually, seasons behind. Everyone online in my circles that I'm running in is talking about The Boys right now.
I know why.
Which,
yeah, go ahead.
Of course you know why. Which, because as everyone in my circles know, obviously Jensen Ackles, star of Supernatural, is in The Boys, and the most recent episode they had Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins pop on in. And it's also obviously the showrunner, the original showrunner of Supernatural is the one who's doing The Boys. And so he brought them in. And I think it's the final season of The Boys, and they had their little reunion on screen. And because I'm not caught up, I'm not positive that they're coming back. I think that they are. I'm pretty sure because I was seeing some things. I don't think that this is their final. I think they're going to be in the season a little bit more, and so I do want to actually watch it. Sorry to say it. I do have a lot of The Boys to be watching because I really like that show. I do. That's a good show. It's funny.
I've meant to watch it. I've meant to start it.
Maybe the first 2 seasons, maybe 2.5. I really like the show.
Yeah.
It's a crazy show. It's really silly. I did have some crap I wanted to say about seeing those 3 together on my screen, on my phone screen, because again, I'm not actually watching the show yet. It's a little bit horrifying. I think to see the 3 of them together again, it's just really funny. And you know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate Eric Kripke doing that. For me, I'm a little scared of what he's going to do. Because I've seen, obviously, people in my internet are talking about Destiel. Obviously, we're always talking about Destiel on there. That's something
never ending.
If you know anything about Supernatural, you know that Destiel is kind of forever. It's just, in a way, it's in everything. And it's everywhere. There's no getting away from it.
Cathedrals everywhere.
Literally. It's foundational text for everything. Similar to challengers leading to heated rivalry. We are as a society where we are because of Destiel. And I'm being 100% genuine. There's so many, just fandom as a whole. The whole act and art of the existence of fandom itself is in part, a big part due to Destiel. And so people are creating things that are coming across my desk in the year of our Lord 2026 of somehow there's new Destiel content. And again, if this is something that you're following, you also know there is always new Destiel content somehow because the main actors from that show are still going on tours. They're running that
right.
the convention circuit, and they kind of always have been and maybe always will be, and it's fascinating to watch because I guess they're just doing it for the love of the game because I'm sure they all they don't need the money from that, so it's fascinating to watch that they're still doing that and they're still talking about they're still coming out with Destiel content. Someday, unfortunately, we're gonna be doing a Supernatural episode. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I am,
and I'll let you take the wheel.
Maybe someday if you're sick, I'll make my own episode.
If I've lost my voice, so I can just sit there and nod. Yeah,
that would be perfect. I can't wait. So there's new content. There's new Destiel stuff. But I'm really afraid that Eric Kripke, I don't want to say that. I do. I'm afraid of what he's going to do, not from Destiel, of the other 2. I'm afraid that he's going to do something crazy there. And I don't want to see that on my screen. I know they're not brothers in real life. But they want to be. And so I'm talking to you, Eric Kripke. You better keep it normal. You better watch it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see those 2 in a weird embrace. I've seen enough of that actually on Supernatural. They're always having a weird embrace. Like there's something crazy was always happening on that show.
Yeah.
And I say that with so much love. That's a terrible show that I adore with all my heart. And I think it's, like we were saying, a terrible piece of art that was created with some sort of intention that ran for like 25 years. And I love it and it's bad. And I love it. I love it for how bad it was. It's a beautiful piece of art. I am, I guess, excited to see those 3 on my screen again. It's like,
yes, you're like a very cautious excitement.
Exactly.
But basically excited.
In a really fun way, I open my phone and like I'm 14 again every once in a while. Because I'm like, sure, okay, Misha Collins and Jensen Ackles are staring at each other in a really weird, charged way. Like, what else is new? Like,
perfect.
In a way, I'm home. That's something I'm very familiar with. I know that. It's foundational. It's huge. It's
like, I know to do with this.
And it's important to me. I do. Yeah. I'm used to that.
Oh, brilliant.
That's enough of that from me. It's great.
No, I'm so happy. That is very kind of peripheral to the things that come across my desk personally.
Right.
But I did catch wind of that and I was like, some people are having a really good time. Some people are having a great month.
Yeah, that's me.
And it's Ellen.
Me and my girls are having a great time.
I feel like
I guess that's our final note.
We've run the time, right?
You know what? Realize that I don't want to see Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki kiss. I don't want that. I'll say it. I was being very
I rebuke you. Yeah.
Eric Kripke, please don't make them kiss. Maybe I'm entirely off base.
Yeah.
Because once again, I haven't seen the new season of The Boys, but I've seen other seasons. And I know where your mind is at. And I don't trust you. I'm afraid.
It's like you hold the balance of the universe in your
hands. In your hands. Like, please.
Please.
That's my realize that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. But okay, great. That's another episode from us.
Look at us go.
Yay. Look at us just chatting chatting shit, as I say. Thanks for listeing.
That's us.
Follow us, like and subscribe, and follow us on all the things.
Fixated.pod on all socials.
We'll see you guys sometime soon.
See you in the next one. 2 weeks from whenever. Okay.
This Wednesday that you're listening.
Exactly.
You'll be seeing us again.
We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.